Welcome to the All for the Gators podcast.
Welcome, yes, this is the All for the Gators podcast, episode 1. And why should you listen to this one out of the hundreds of Gator podcasts out there? This is not going to be a show about analytics or offensive, defensive scheme breakdowns. It's a show by Gators, for Gators, featuring Gator greats that as a fan, you shared your blood, sweat, and tears with over the years. So before we get to our guest, our very special guest of our first episode, let's introduce the host, shall we? I'll go first. I'm John Spano, and as a Gator, I hosted the morning show on Gainesville's Rock Station and did live football pregame broadcasts from Ben Hill Griffin Stadium each week. I went on to an 18-year major market radio career, and we have two other hosts of the show, both Gator buddies of mine that I grew up with and went to school with. First, Mr. Andy Pankratz. He's a little more buttoned up than me. He's the business executive of the bunch and actually a minority owner of the Green Bay Packers. Andy, how are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. Really excited for this. It's something we've talked about for a long time and really excited to finally get it going.
Me too. Sounds good. We brought in a third wheel, another guy that we were at UF with together, grew up with in South Florida. Sid Kafka is our third host of the show. He's had a little bit of a radio experience, but mostly spends his time with fantasy sports. Before we started recording, he was talking about being in 13 fantasy football leagues. What's up, Sid?
Hey, guys. Thanks. Very happy to be here. Excited for this.
As of when we're recording this, the Gators beat Utah 29-26 in the swamp. The crowd was going crazy. We have a lot of young talent with potential. I just felt a new, good vibe around this team and Coach Napier's first win, although we were one play away from taking the L. So, what do you guys feel about this game?
I was thrilled, excited. The new era started, and exciting finish from the fumble that they picked up to the interception that wasn't to the interception that was. It was great. Very exciting. Can't wait to see where the season takes us.
Yeah, to me it was the crowd, man. The crowd was pretty damn electric, right? I mean, obviously they were up for the game. Probably a lot of reasons why. New fresh start with Coach Napier. The buzz, of course, around Anthony Richardson. Top 10 opponents are always great.
Too, right?
That's a big, beer is always good, right? So, and I'm sure, we had some of the recent recruiting wins were a factor, but really Gator Nation represented, in the swamp, no doubt about it. I honestly even think it was loud enough that even you, John, would not have fallen asleep in stands at the halftime. So, not that that's ever happened. Not that that's ever happened, but I think you would have stayed awake in this one.
Episode 1, and we're already going and pulling out skeletons from the closet. I love it. Love it.
Oh, man. But listen, hey, you got to admit Richardson was the show, right? The fake 2-point conversion to put the Gators up by 3 in the fourth quarter. That's going to be one of those highlights for a long time, kind of like the major right hit on the sidelines that we all remember. That's going to be one that we're going to see for a while, right?
The long 45-yard touchdown run was pretty spectacular, too. I'm sure that's going to be in the highlight reel for a while as well.
He's a big, strong dude, though. Going to be fun to watch. No turnovers is always great. One stat that I did read that I thought was kind of cool for him, he did not have a stop for a loss. One of those things you don't see in the box score, but for him not to have gone backwards, that's pretty good. We'll take that any day of the week, right?
Absolutely.
Literally going in the right direction. Can't ask for more than that.
I also heard that we had a bunch of recruits that were in the stands for that game. That's a pretty good one for to get prospective recruits, right? I mean, imagine what they saw in their first game, in the swamp with Gator Nation. Pretty cool.
And I know a couple of them were already flipping on their social media, erasing who their main commit was, deleting all that stuff from their social media accounts. So let's keep that going, right? Another win in the swamp against Kentucky with more recruits there, and the ball keep rolling.
No doubt about it. I mean, definitely one of the things Coach Napier came in with was a reputation for recruiting, and he has certainly lived up to that hype for sure.
As we have more successes, that should only help that.
Let's not make our guest wait any longer. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you some details and see if you can figure out who it is. He's one of the most prolific running backs to come out of Polk County, Florida. He finished high school with over 7,000 total yards, 90 touchdowns, 3 state titles, and 1 USA Today national championship and U.S. Army High School All-American honors. He went on to become a Gator, and at UF was a member of the 2008 national championship team. While donning the orange and blue, he racked up almost 4,000 all-purpose yards, including averaging a stout 6.2 yards a carry and over 25 yards of kick return. His teammates even voted him MVP after his senior year. And if that's not enough, he earned All-American honors as part of the Gator track and field team as well. He was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2012 and averaged almost 4 yards a carry, had over 1,000 yards as a kick returner. He went on to the Colts in 2013 and landed in the CFL in 2015, where he finished his career with over 10,000 total career return yards. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any idea who it is? Andy, Sid?
I have an idea, but I want to hear it.
I present to you one of our national champion Gator greats, Mr. Christopher Rainey. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Amazing. Oh, thank you so much for being here, Chris.
Appreciate you for having me, man. He missed out on a lot of stuff on that.
Did I?
I bet you did.
We have a crack research staff here.
So we don't have no videos or nothing?
No, just audio.
Okay, just making sure.
We don't want to look at each other.
Believe me, you'll prefer it this way too, Chris.
I'm rough right now. I haven't had in some months.
So you grew up in Lakeland, Florida, and that's in Central Florida.
Yes, sir.
Us three, we grew up near Fort Lauderdale in South Florida. That's not too far away.
Party city down there.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Your senior year, you rushed for 2,400 yards, over 2,400 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 15 of them went for 50 yards or longer. So my question is, at what point in your life, Chris, do you say to yourself, okay, nobody can stop me? Like, when do you make that realization? Is it in a Pop Warner league? Is it in high school?
No, it ain't no. That's what you're trying to do. That's what you want to be. That's what you strive to be. That's what you out to be. I'm just like a wrecking ball out there, just dominating, being what they say, man among boys. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, but
Wow.
but when does that happen? Like, when do you realize that you're better than everybody else out there on the field?
Well, it doesn't matter because I was bullied, I was picked on, I was either got picked last or I never got picked, and all them times I walked home crying, trying to just play sports with friends. You know who my only friend I had growing up and my best friend? My dog.
Oh, man.
Y'all really think I'm playing? For real. 15 years, that was my best friend, only friend I had. And her name was Sugar Baby. My grandma named her.
Oh.
And that was the only friend I had. Played chase, tag, ate together. We chased chickens, squirrels, raccoons. Man, it was just the whole 9 yards. Just me and her every day. If I'm not playing with my toys, the army man's outside in the dirt, I'm playing with her.
Is chasing that dog around what made you so fast?
Yeah, I believe so. Because in our neighborhood, if you think you fast or you want to be fast, it's certain streets that you do not want to walk on because it's some dangerous dogs or dogs that know how to jump the fence or so super fast dog. So if you fast, we finna see if you can make it down to the other side of the street without getting caught. So and that was the thing back in the day. But yeah, my dog was a child.
Oh. Those can be mean sometimes.
Okay.
Yep, the mean ones.
All right, very cool. I have 3 dogs myself. I have 2 pit bull mixes and a Chihuahua, and I'll tell you what, the Chihuahua is the nastiest one of the 3.
It is.
She's 17, and she don't take nothing from nobody.
Yeah, they is ankle biters, and they don't care.
Being that dominant in high school, a lot of times when especially a running back is that dominant, a coach will pull them early, right? They'll have like 300 yards in the first half. They get pulled, to save the other team some dignity, I guess, give some other players some touches, maybe, reduce the risk of injury to you. So did that happen to you a lot in high school? Could your numbers have been like double as much?
Our coach was like that. Always respect the other opponent, never disrespect them. That's how he was. If we blowing him out, he'll take everybody out before half or at halftime. The other guy play or get some playing time or prevent injuries, all the whole 9 yards. So, and I say probably at least about 7 out of 10 games that will get pulled at halftime during the season. Then playoffs, it depends who we playing against or how bad we blowing them out. Will get pulled too.
All right, so your numbers could have been.
I probably could have had it. I could easily probably get 10,000 yards in the season.
Wow.
Y'all
That's a
think
lot
I'm
of
playing
running.
too.
Wow.
Y'all think I'm playing. Only get 9 to 10 carries a game.
Right? What, 20 yards a carry?
Yeah, it's probably at 20, between 18 and 20.
Wow. You hurt yourself with all those touchdown returns on the kickoffs. Less chances for you to carry.
Yeah, I probably had about 50. I probably had about 50 touchdowns called back because of crap bats. You know how that was back in the day with the
Oh
crap
yeah.
bats.
So you were probably pretty highly recruited, out of high school. Were there other schools besides UF that were really coming after you, hard?
Oh my, because I had a teammate named Kendrick Stewart. He went to Florida State. Good best friend to this day. I was a freshman. He was a junior, and I asked him, "What's all these letters you getting? He be like these colleges and all that stuff. This is what you want to do. Get all these letters and all that. They'll tell you that if you're doing good or not, or in high school and all that other stuff." So I'm like, okay. So basically, I have to be a great player to get these. Okay, so got every school except Texas Longhorn. And my first letter ever out of all my cars was Florida. And I committed to Florida my 10th grade year anyway. It doesn't matter. So
Well, we're glad you did. That's for sure.
Yes, thank you.
yeah, because I played with the Lakeland Gators in town, back at our hometown. So, and I just fell in love with them. And plus I love alligators. Period. Point blank too. So they vicious, they savage. They don't care who you is. They'll eat you. They just dangerous. That's why everybody, even animals, everybody's scared of alligators, no matter what.
Chris, you got any crazy recruiting stories for us at PG ones? I mean, we're past the statute of limitations here. We're not going to get anybody in
I
trouble.
don't care
no
about none of that.
universities.
I always keep it real, no matter what. There's some stuff if you can't say, you just don't say it. But I think we had a dinner at Urban Meyer house because at this time when I was in high school, I used to eat McDonald's 3 times a day.
What are you ordering from McDonald's, Chris? When Chris Rainey goes to the McDonald's drive-through, what's your go-to?
Back in the day, it was 2 double cheeseburger, plain with cheese,
2?
small fry. Yep, small fry and a drink, depending what size it is, depending how much money I had.
You ran that fast eating that crappy? That's all the more impressive.
All right.
But that was in high school when I did. Then a little bit of college. Then I just stopped. And the only way I eat McDonald's is in the Mersey off the highway when the kids hungry.
You're at Urban Meyer's house. You're eating dinner.
All the guys was there. All the recruiting guys. We having a dinner, all that stuff, and they had, how places like that have all the food. The first thing I said, I was like, "Man, this look like white people food." So everybody laughing, all that shit. When I got you. You got your McDonald's in the microwave. I said, what? Yeah, and that's when I was like, yeah, I'm going to love him. Yeah.
Were the Pounceys with you at that dinner?
Yeah. Yeah.
You lived with them for a little bit, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Moved in with
How'd
them.
that go down?
Oh, no, because I met them in high school. Because the Part 1 team they was across town, Part 1. So I met them in high school. Became close, became friends with them and all that stuff. And then we ended up being brothers. And I moved in with them for my sophomore year. So, and the rest is history. Yeah, and then I keep in touch with they parents a lot because I love how they treated me, taught me how to be a house owner, just the whole 9 yards. What a family supposed to be like, just like Urban Meyer. What a family supposed to be like with a house and roof over the kids' head, all that whole 9 yards with the pictures everywhere from babies to when they grown. It just because you don't learn that growing up in my neighborhood or our race and all that stuff. It's just different.
How many kids you got, Chris?
I got 4.
4 boys, girls. How old?
3 girls, 1 boy. Lucky the boy was the first one. 7, 7, 6, 2.
You chasing them around the house and you can't catch them because they got your genes?
They are dangerous. I
Yeah.
just put it that way.
Well, speaking of your speed, you ran a 4.35 40, right? And we know Demps was pretty quick.
I ran
What?
that in 8th grade. Boy?
Did I do you dirty? What is it?
Yes, you did.
4.33?
Wow.
No, 4.23.
Yeah, he ran.
4.23.
You ran a 4.3 in like 8th grade, didn't you?
Yep, my
I
first
heard
4.3, first time ever run the 40, 4.37.
Damn, that's fast.
Wow.
We knew that Demps was quick, and of course Percy Harvin was quick. Did you guys ever have any like private races among teammates for
Oh,
bragging rights? Or
all the time. I raced Lewis Murphy. I raced Percy Harvin. I had to race him 3 times. So you know how when you play football, you're like, ain't nobody out there like me. That's
uh-huh.
one person I can say was identical as me, but way bigger. The takeoff, the speed, the whole 9 yards. So it basically became a tie with me in person. But everybody else, I destroyed. Jeff Demps, Deontay Thompson. Who else I raced? Joe Hay and Brandon James.
Brandon James too. He was
Did I? And Bubba Caldwell, Riley Cooper.
How many times you beat Percy?
He won one, and we tied. So basically even.
That's like Superman versus the Flash. That's a classic speedsters there.
All right. So you win the 2008 national championship with a win over Sam Bradford and the Oklahoma Sooners in that 2009 BCS championship game. How do you celebrate? Are you going downtown and hitting the clubs up? I imagine it lasts for days.
No, first of all, that was the biggest team I ever seen in person. Thought Alabama was big? Nah, they was big. But I was hurt. I got hurt right before halftime, so I ain't celebrate nothing. I ain't take pictures, nothing. I just stayed in the hotel, mad as hell.
Oh man.
So, Chris, you wore numbers 3, 8, 1 while you were at UF. What was with the number change? And obviously, number 1's very prestigious. So, what made you choose the different numbers, and did they have any significance to you?
Well, my freshman year, I couldn't get 3 because the senior had 3, and he was on special teams at the same time, so I had to wait till he leave. And when I got 3, I was gonna keep it all the way to, and then all the stories I keep hearing from Part 1 all the way to college, the best player was number 1. So I just wanted to try it out and see, but I ain't like it. It's hard to make number 1 clean. What Dion said, you play good. Oh, wait, what you said?
You dress good, you look good. You look good, you play good, they pay good.
Yep.
All right. So you played for both Urban and Will Muschamp at UF. And we saw Muschamp sort of become a little unwound in Gainesville, and we all know about Urban's issues, right? And what they're saying about his tenure in Jacksonville. You know, how do you feel about playing for each of those coaches?
Oh, no, they're great coaches. 2 different characters. Cause you got one that's love offense, special team, then you got one that loves defense. So it's a big difference. And they both can scare the heck out you, but I like it because I'm old school just like they are and all that stuff. So they treat me like all their sons. So father figures. That's it. Because I know Urban, life lessons, Muschamp helped me out when I got my heart broken. Never ever felt that pain ever in my life, and that was the worst pain I ever felt. Crying at workouts, I couldn't focus. Man, and he brought me in, talked to me, this and that, and all that, kept me smiling, and told the team to keep my head up and all that stuff. Cause yeah, I ain't never experienced that before ever in my life, and that's the worst feeling ever.
All right, Chris, I got a question for you. Is there like a favorite play? It could be a run, a catch, maybe a return, but something that's really kind of stuck with you. And maybe even if it was Florida or even in the pros, but is there just one of those plays that you always remember?
Hold on, Chris. When I was playing for BCC North, that's Broward Community College, against BCC South, on the first play of the first game, I lined up wide left. This is a true story. I ran a fly route.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
The defensive back, I don't know what was wrong in his life because he was built like a pro.
Oh, Lord.
But he must have underestimated me. And I got by him. I hauled in that pass. I scored that touchdown.
Really?
But that's the play that sticks with me.
We have legendary Gator Chris Rainey here, and you think anyone wants to hear about you and your flag football highlights?
Oh.
No, Chris, it was flag football, Chris.
I played in the flag football tournament league with the $1 million jump.
All right. I'm sure Chris has a better story if he's got a play that sticks in his mind.
Favorite play. My favorite play is just blocking punts.
Okay.
Because it electrifies the stadium. It helps the team. It's momentum. It's field position, instant field position. And most of the time, either I can block it and we go to offense, or I can block it and pick it up and score.
Who holds the record at UF for most block kicks?
Me.
Oh,
That's right. I left that out of the intro.
It should have been more.
Chris, you ever play Tecmo Bowl?
Yep. Yes,
And
I
you'd line up Lawrence Taylor on the end, and you block those field goals because he was so fast. Is that what it was like having you on the special teams?
have.
Line up Chris Rainey right out there on the end.
Yeah, soon as they create a play on special team, they show it to me. I'm like, and then I look at the film on they special team. I'm like, oh yeah, this should be a block, easy, and I already know I'm for to get one soon as the game start. And when that time comes, they call it. Oh, it's time. And the thing is, if they don't pay attention to me or anything, I'm blocking it.
So you knew before it was going to happen.
Yes, sir. Always.
So you talked about those kind of plays,
Nice.
block kicks, block punts, gets the crowd going. That the game this past weekend against Utah, that crowd was pretty electric. And you know how loud it can get in the swamp. And you were there for national championship year. Were there any games that year or any others while you were at UF that really stand out to you?
Miami and Florida.
Miami, okay,
Oh,
all right.
Oh yeah.
Man, that game was so packed and outside the stadium too. Oh my God.
I wish we played them more often.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's that in-state rivalry. You guys don't get to play. Those two teams don't play as much as Florida and FSU and Miami and FSU. So when the Gators and the Canes get together, it's a different game.
Every 4 years, that's how they do it.
That's right.
So you told me that you coach Pop Warner now, and you have a business training kids. Tell me a little bit about both of those.
Well, I coach, cause one of my friends is the commissioner of the Part One team, and my son play on the team on 8U. He just moved up, and he was the coaches before was wasn't good coaches. So if I got rid of them, and he started coaching, and he was by himself. So he asked me, can I help him? So I help him. He want me to be the head coach. Lost the first one because the kids at this age Man, football is totally different, boy. It is. You just shake your head just many times. You just can't do nothing about it. And I told the kids it was fast. You ain't gonna be able to think. It just they forgot all they played. The first game they forgot all they played. They panicked. The game was too fast for them. They got tired. I'm talking about the whole 9 yards looked like the bad news Bears. But the following week now we look like Chicago Bears. So hey, I must doing something right. But my business, I speed training. I train all athletes, all sports. And I had to change up my schedule because of the football and all that. I coach AU track too, so I might be getting my own team next year. I'm still figuring all that out right now. So as we speak,
What's the name of the business where you train kids?
Chris Rainey Speed Factory.
Yeah.
Chris Rainey Speed Factory. I like that.
Yeah.
I read an article recently, I think it was on ESPN maybe, that Napier now has speed coaches, multiple speed coaches, one for like the DBs and one for the receivers. I thought that was kind of interesting when I read that. I never kind of thought about that. And it talked about how, offense right is going forward, defense is going backwards. That's pretty cool. I mean, you guys, I assume, only had one speed coach back when you were there, or did you have any?
Oh no, we just had our strength coach.
Oh, wow. That's how much the game has changed with this coaching, even in the last few years, right?
Yep. Our weight room coach was doing all the speed stuff and everything. Your weight room and everything was competition. You racing against the next guy next to you. And my goal was to come in first in everything. So that's just me. I want to come in first in everything. And then just bring back the memories back in the day. I never got either I got picked last or I didn't get picked at all. So my goal is to make sure people pick me first for anything.
That's right, having the chip on your shoulder. So as a coach now, do you take anything from, maybe like Urban or any of the other coaches that you played for that you kind of use in your coaching philosophy now?
Just life lessons. Just I tell them all the stuff that they need to know and stuff that they better be prepared for and ready for, and cause nowadays is you got crybaby parents that be on the sideline. You got parents that force their kids. You got kids that think they all that and this and that and have no clue because high school because this part one league I'm in, the kids that suck they don't play at all. But this in this part one league, so the kids that not good and they don't play much, they have to at least get 8 plays. That's a rule. If they don't get 8 plays, I think you forfeit the game or something.
Wow.
Wow.
Man, never heard of in my life. It's crazy, man. It's hard to, but I figured out already. So we good. But at that first game, I'm like, how? I'm telling the other coach, how the heck can you focus on the game and you got the team this and that all the years say, hey,
That's a
he
lot to
didn't
keep
play
track
yet. Oh,
of.
he got to get this many more plays. I'm like, what the?
That's so
Well,
they can get their participation trophies.
man, that is crazy.
It's that everyone gets a trophy mentality, man. It is crazy.
Because high school, it ain't no rule. Best player plays. That's it. No question asked.
So, Chris, obviously this is a Gator podcast, but we know that you played in the NFL too, and we all have the utmost respect for Mike Tomlin, championship coach for the Steelers. Yeah, you have any cool stories about him? He just seems like he's always so cool, no matter what's going on.
Oh, I
Just seems
love
like a
him,
great
boy.
guy. Can you share any experience with that?
Oh, well, only story I can give you, because the incident I had in college, just like I said, first time in love and all the other stuff, and because I had an argument with my girlfriend's sister at the time, and I said something I ain't mean to say it, but when you argue, you always say stuff that you don't mean, and sometimes when you realize what you say, you be like, "Oh, damn, I really said that," because other people gonna look at it different, and as long as the people that's in love or they know it don't mean a thing, all that stuff, and instantly did get dropped. So, but that incident happened in college. So when I got drafted, and the incident it was a text message I sent out, time to die, the B word, and I get drafted. They called me, and the first thing Mike Tomlin said, "Time to die B." And I just bust out laughing. I'm saying, "Yeah, I'm finna love him. I'm finna love him." I'm like, "Heck no, he really just said
Well,
that."
that's a great way to win over a new player. I like that. There's a reason he's the best.
He cool as hell. He keep it real, man. I just love coaches that keep it real. Players coach that's just play the best people. I'm talking about if you're doing something wrong, he gonna call it out, or he gonna embarrass you in front of the team. He gonna point at you with the laser and say, "Hey, what y'all think?" Ask the team what y'all think about this. And I like it. I like it because I know we practiced all week for Carolina Panthers in the preseason. We went over film. And he was talking about this the worst special teams group, and to this day they still the worst special team group. Uh, and he was like, "Rainey, I want you to be the first punt return this week." And I'm looking at their special team tape. I'm like, "Damn, I might do something this game." And I end up running two back within 5 minutes apart. And then after I ran the second one back, as soon as I got to the sideline, I went to Coach Tomlin. I said, "Hey, Coach, did I make the team?" And he just said, "Man, get your butt out of here, man."
That's awesome.
But I didn't realize
Um,
NFL was that easy. Like playing in the SEC it gets you so much prepared, and it's basically identical, but just a tad bit more faster, a tad bit more bigger. But when you fast, it doesn't matter. And NFL was easy as hell. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely
speed is speed.
yep, definitely make it to my second contract." But I ain't get a chance to. But hey, I made it, did what I did, and that's that.
We talk about that all the time as Gator fans, how much the SEC almost like just a step below the pros. So to hear you say that's, for us that have never been there, it's kind of cool to hear you talk about that. To kind of reiterate some of the smack talk that we have out there.
Especially at the level you played, Chris.
Football is football. It just either you're fast, you're not fast, you're strong, you're not strong, or whatever else. It's just like a man among boys. If you that guy, because every player is not that player on every level. It's only a few that's every level and they good every level, and it ain't that many that do that. Some people get lucky getting to the NFL. Some people get lucky getting drafted in the first round. You just do a lot of shaking your head when you get to the NFL. You're like, hold on, how the hell did he make it here? Or how did he get drafted first round? You be like, but you can't do nothing about it.
Yep.
You can't do nothing about it, boy.
Is there one player that you played against that you dreaded? Was there any one player that maybe had your number?
Had my number? No, that's a lie. Nope. My juke was deadly. That's my one cut. Uh-uh.
Do you ever get back to the swamp for a game?
Oh, yeah, it's been a while.
Been a
It's been a
while.
while. Yeah, because they ain't looking at the game the other day. It just ain't no firepower on offense and ain't no speed on offense. You have to have speed in the SEC. Doesn't matter. I don't care how big you are. You have to have speed in the SEC. If you trying to win games, playmakers, I'm talking about that's threatening to score any given play. You have to have players like that, and we don't have players like that. Ain't no quarterback for all that by themselves. Cause Alabama, if you play Alabama, all they need to do is blitz everybody. That's it. They don't even need to guard nobody out there or running backs or anything like that. So
They need you as their speed coach.
That's right.
Oh man.
I don't mind it.
Let me ask you a question about this. So this game that was there that we played last week against Utah, it was a nail biter. We saw a bunch of other ones down to the wire games over that opening weekend. Is there one of those kind of games that sticks with you?
Bad coach on Utah side. Cause they supposed to easily blew us out.
Yeah, I hear you. But there was a lot of crazy games that weekend that came down to like the last play of the game. Is there any of those kind of games that you remember?
LSU game. Or you talking about I played
You
in.
played in that you played in.
Ah,
Kind of one of those games that we finished and you were like, damn.
I think Arkansas was it 08 season? No, 09. 09 when we played Arkansas when they came to our house. Because I think it was 14-7 to
Oh, that's when you picked up the long fourth down.
14-10, 14-7.
I remember.
Yeah, that was a good game.
All right.
That was a great game. I remember you guys picked up a long fourth down late in the game to come back on your drive. It was like a 4th and 20 something.
And I supposed to score the touchdown on them. Man, you know what worse in football when you juke the heck out of somebody and they just stick their foot out and kick the ball out your hand and you fumble.
Oh man.
Like that's the worst feeling. You know how many times I did that in college at UF? Juke the heck out of somebody so bad they just stick their leg out. That's the only defense they got left and hit the ball at you. Man, you're like, come on, are you serious?
Chris Rainey, speedfactory.com. Do you have, is that on social media, Instagram and Facebook and everything?
Yes, sir. Except for Twitter because I forgot my password for that, so I'm trying to redo that now. But in that, got on everything else and it's spreading like wildfire. Started with one client, now I got like 42 clients. Still building. Yeah, I'm just trying to be the man that give out speed to all kind of kids because nowadays you need speed for every sport now. So
Maybe call Coach Napier. Send an email to Coach Napier with the link to your business.
okay, tell me about it.
Feel free to use us as a reference. We recommend you for the job.
You've been more than gracious with your time with us, Chris. We thank you for joining us on the show today. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did.
All right,
It was
y'all
an
done
honor and a
already?
pleasure to have you on.
Y'all done already?
But is there anything else you wanted us to talk about?
I just know people don't know that I was born in prison. I was born with 12 fingers. Well, I was in.
Whoa, hold on. I didn't know you wanted to talk about all that
Oh
stuff.
no, I'm just laying people that don't know me.
Sure. All right. So for people that don't know about you, tell us a little bit about that. Honestly, I did not know that.
Oh no, I was born in prison. I can't control that part because both parents was on drugs and all that stuff at the time. And dad was still to the day, but we died a couple years ago. And you know how everybody dying off this fentanyl, they putting all this fentanyl and stuff like that. So
Sure.
you can't control that. You can't do nothing about it. I was born with 12 fingers. I was in ESC growing up. I had bad speech. Couldn't talk like that. Couldn't read. And, man, so much stuff I had to overcome, man. It just eventually you get embarrassed and you just get sick and tired of people laughing, picking on you and all the other stuff. You're like, man. I mean, because ESC is one class all day. You can't do nothing. You can't go to PE. You can't eat lunch with your damn friends or nothing like that. Just like you know how the comedians always say, "Oh, you in one class, your friends go by the window on the door and laugh at you and keep going, all that other stuff." That was true for me, so and all that. So you just gotta work your way in any way you can to get out there. How can I get out of this? How can I prove people wrong? Just like people always saying I'm too small for everything. How can I prove people wrong? What can I do? And my mind was so damn frustrated and mad. I just want to just destroy everybody on the football field. It I, I just built that like that, and just like I said,
I bet.
motivation. I used the football as my grandma because that's who I grew up with. That's who raised me. She was an alcoholic. I don't drink. That's why, because and she smoked cigarettes 2 packs a day. That's why I don't smoke. None of that stuff. And I motivation. I use the football as my dog or my grandma or God. So if I let anybody take this football, I let them three down. So that's why I play like I played when I played football. So and I did track because it was fun and it helped you in football. And plus, my mom was a track star. I heard back in the day, so that's why I didn't. Because that's the only time she'll come watch us do anything if we ran track. Because football, she didn't want to be out there because she didn't want nobody to hurt her kids at the time and all that stuff. And the reason why I moved with the Pouncey twin, because when she got out of jail, she took all her kids back. I didn't get along with her the first 2 years and all the other stuff, and I was scared of her too at the same time. So, and then eventually, we hung out, all got to know her before she passed. So I'm glad I did that. Or I probably would have never got that chance to. Anything else?
Did you play any other sports besides? I know you talked about track and football. Did you play any other sports growing up?
Basketball in high school. I only did it because the other football players did it, and it was fun. And other than that, baseball I only tried one day. It was too boring. But if I knew they were paying $300 million, I probably would have stayed in it. Uh, and ballerina. I did ballerina too growing up.
You danced?
Ballerina, yes I did. Ballerina. That's why my feet were
All
so
right.
good.
They learned the
Yeah, it
footwork
works
on
on
the
your
field.
coordination. Gives you coordination.
Wasn't Lynn Swan a
Steeler
dancer
great.
when he was younger
Yes.
too?
Who?
Lynn Swan, 70s receiver for the Steelers.
I have no clue if he.
He used to make all those acrobatic catches, and he
But that
You know,
was the
he
funny thing about
credited the fact that he was a dancer when he was younger, made him not, all nimble. But that very motivational, Chris. Hearing those stories, when you get out on the football field, you sort of take that weight off your shoulder, right? Of all your challenges, and you sort of turn the table on life, right? When you get out on the football field, because you're in control,
Oh yeah.
and nobody could stop you on that football field,
Nope.
and that's what you did.
That's my goal. Be number one or be number two. Which one you want? Number one or number two? If you number one, everybody looking at you, watching you, be a fan of you, all the other stuff. Number two, it ain't so like that much. So that's it. Just like in high school, every Saturday morning, my goal was go get the newspaper and make sure my name right there on the front page. Number one this, number one that, number one whatever, combines. Number one this, number one that, the fast this, all anything I do, I have to be number one. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if I'm selfish, anything, but I'm always a team player. But end of the day, I'm coming in number one. Don't care.
And you did it. You broke records in high school. You broke records at UF. You broke records in the CFL. You were number one, and we're all fans of you.
Appreciate
So thank
it.
you for your hard work, your dedication, and everything you gave to football and UF. As a fan, we appreciate it, and thank you very much, Chris.
You have to come back for our 100th show, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. This was great.
Okay, I got you.
Hey, you were a lot of fun to watch, and listen, we wish you all the best with coaching and your business, of course. Like you said, we could use a little bit more speed, so we really do wish you all the best. You sound like you're doing it all the right way, and that's great motivation for other people out there.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it because everybody always down themselves or letting people get in their ears and all that stuff. You got to block the noise side or let it go through one ear out the other. And you know who speak real or don't speak real and all that stuff. And you always got to have a small circle. Everybody trying to look at social media to do this what this other person do. Do your own thing. Me, I keep it real. Sometimes I get in trouble for it, but most of the time, everybody respect you for it, just like coaches.
That's right. Well, thank you, Chris. The best to you and your kids, your 4 kids that are running around. I'm sure you got your hands full with those. I got 2, and I'm going out of my mind, so I can imagine 4.
Yeah, same goes to all y'all. Appreciate you for having me. Thank you. And you said the 100. show you said y'all gonna see me again?
Hopefully sooner. Hopefully sooner.
Yeah, thank you so
Oh,
much.
sooner.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun, Chris.
All right, I'm ready when y'all ready. Just let me know. Okay, thank you.
All right, take care.
Wow. We just talked to Chris Rainey.
How awesome was that?
He was a really nice guy. He had great stories.
Yeah, that was great. He brought it, man. He hit everything. That was really cool. Really cool. Really honest, open discussions, and I think that's going to come off really genuine, to other kids out there and other players. That's pretty cool.
The Mike Tomlin story was awesome. All right, so is this a wrap? Have we done a show?
We did. This was episode number 1. How are you guys feeling?
Oh my God, the first of many. I can't wait. I can't wait to see who you're springing on us next. Keep them coming, Johnny.
I have a couple in the works, and hopefully once we get this one published, other players will see and be interested to be on the show because it was a lot of fun. And that's what it's all about, bringing the Gator greats to Gator Nation. That's what we're going to do.
Set the bar real high. They're going to have to come with their A game to be as good as him. That was a great first interview.
So let me ask you guys, now that we're doing this and we're going to get players on the show, who would be the number 1 player on your guys' bucket list to have on the show?
Coach Spurrier.
Really? Wow, that was quick. All right.
Greatest Gator ever. Won a Heisman and won a championship as a coach. What more can you ask for? Fields
Can't argue that. All right, Andy?
I'll tell you, it's kind of now talking to Chris. There was somebody that I was thinking about, as a potential future guest that kind of comes in line with him. I mean, offensively, obviously, Tim Tebow or Rex Grossman would be awesome. But there's a guy that I think would be really kind of fun to talk to and kind of hear the story. That's Kyle Trask. I know he's pretty busy right now in the NFL with the Bucs, but his story is pretty amazing too on how patient he was to get his opportunities. And it was I think if I remember right, it was every level. He had that same, roadblocks against him. And then when he finally got the chance, he made the most of them. So I think that would be kind of a cool discussion to have with him and kind of hear his side of that.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so Sid's got Spurrier, Andy's got Trask, and I will go with Rex Grossman. You named him. I'm going to go with him.
That's quite the trio we put out there. I'd be very happy with that.
The other guy that I think would be really cool would be Javon Curse. Because there's just so many freak stories out there. I'd love to hear which ones are really true, and then hear them from hear the stories from his perspective.
All right.
Because you hear all those crazy freak stories. That'd be kind of cool to talk to him too.
We'll see. We'll see what we can do, guys.
Well, listen, we had a good start. Rainey was awesome.
All right, gentlemen. It was a pleasure and honor to share the mic with 2 fellow Gators and buddies, and bring this dream we've had to fruition for the Gator Nation. And I hope people jump on the bandwagon because
we're just getting started.
We're gonna go full and hard right into it, and we'll see who we can get next. All right, guys, take care.
All right, go Gators.
Go Gators.
All right, go Gators.